Good morning, class. This is your reading worksheet. So, I'm going to use my pointer, so if you have the story printed out in week 12, use your finger as if it was the stick. If you don't have it copied out, then follow it on the district website or on ClassTag. Now I'm going to disappear and the pointer is going to be pointing to the story so you can learn the words. Okay. So, this story, That Darn Cat, is a fable. A fable is a short story that teaches a lesson. There are two fables, there's two stories here. Both teach basically the same lesson. Read the stories and see if you can figure out what lesson they are teaching. That Darn Cat. The Cat and the Mice. Once there was a house that was full of mice. There were mice in the walls, mice in the closets and cupboards, and mice under the floorboards. A hungry cat heard about this and set off for the house at once. People in the house decided to keep the cat for a pet and let him in the house. Every day the cat caught mice and ate them. Realizing the risk of running about the house had become too great, the mice stopped coming out. They stayed hidden instead in their mouse holes. No more mice were caught, but the cat began to get bored and hungry. I need to figure out a way to get them out of their holes, the cat said to himself. He thought about it for a while. Then he climbed up the wall and hung by his hind legs, his back legs, from a hook. He pretended to be dead. Soon a mouse peeked out of the mouse hole and saw the cat hanging on the wall. You think you're pretty smart, the mouse said to the cat, but you could turn yourself into an umbrella hanging there, and still not one of us will come near you. Now, here's your second story, The Cat and the Birds. A hungry cat heard that her owner's birds were sick. One day while her owner was out, the cat dressed up like a doctor, got herself a bag containing medical instruments, and went into the room where the bird cages were kept. She asked the birds how they were feeling. Open the door to the cage, the cat said, so that I can examine you and make you feel better. But the birds refused, would not open their cages. We'll be fine as soon as you're gone, the birds said. Now, here are your questions. Answer these questions from the passages of the story. Number 1. What do the cats in these stories have in common? The cat here and the cat here. What do they have that's the same about them? Begin with a capital, finger space, period, you're telling me. Number 2. What do the mice and the birds have in common? What do the mice here in this story and the birds here in that story have in common? What's the same about them? Begin with a capital, finger space, period. Number 3. What lesson do you think that both of these stories teach? What do you think they're trying to teach you in both of these stories? Begin with a capital, finger space, period. Now, here's a little tidbit of history here for you. Who invented these stories? These fables are believed to have been first told by Aesop, a slave and a storyteller who lived in ancient Greece thousands of years ago. So they're very, 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 very old stories. Now, enjoy rereading both fables and do your reading. Happy reading and writing!